because we weren't paying attention. Some of us have missed the bus because we were paying attention to the wrong things. And there are those of us, probably most of us, who simply intentionally just get on the wrong bus. Either we get on the wrong bus because we weren't paying attention, we get on the wrong bus because we missed the right bus, or we get on the wrong bus because we choose to get on the wrong bus. I heard a story about this guy. I think you all have heard the story too. I'm willing to take this gamble. His name was Jonah. I think he was like the great-great-grandfather of the Jonas Brothers. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But his name was Jonah. And Jonah had this awesome responsibility. It was given to him by God. I mean, out of all the jobs that you could be offered, a job from God has to be at, the top of your list. That's pretty important. God told him, he says, this is what I need you to do. I need you to catch a bus boat to this place called Nineveh. And I need you to deliver them a message. Simple message, and I'm paraphrasing for time's sake. You guys are really screwing up. Stop it, or you're going to be in trouble. And if you do, I got some good stuff for you. Very simple message. Started off kind of mean, ended up pretty nice. That was his only job, his total purpose, the whole focus of him getting on the bus. But Jonah didn't like the people from Nineveh. Let's just say their families didn't get along. This mean interaction between the two. The Ninevites had did something really mean to his family back in the day, and he was still feeling some type of way. So this whole idea of God forgiving them was just not acceptable. As a matter of fact, I think he was okay with the idea of God punishing them. It kind of lined up with the whole, you shouldn't have been mean to my family feeling. So Jonah has this great idea. Instead of going to Nineveh, which is about 500 miles away in that direction, I'm going to go in the opposite direction to this place called Tarshish. It's 2,500 miles away. That's 5 times as far, which means it's 5 times as long, which means it's going to take 5 times as much time to get there. He chooses to go the long way because he doesn't want to go that way. All because he didn't like them. He gets on this boat, and in the middle of being on this boat bus, this huge storm arises on the sea, right? And this storm gets so bad that they have to throw everything off the boat. Everything. The only thing left on the boat were the people. They lost everything they had trying to save their lives, and still the storm wouldn't subside. But Jonah knew why the storm had arose. Jonah knew that he was the reason for the storm, so he had a great idea. He said, hey guys, I really think this storm is my fault, so this is what I want you to do. Throw me off the boat. They looked at one another, thought it was a pretty good idea, and off the boat he went. That is my favorite part of the story. Because sometimes in life, you've got to realize that it's time to get rid of the problem people. The people who are causing all the hell in your life. Sometimes you just got to heave ho and get rid of them. While he was struggling for his life, another boat comes along, or bus comes along, in the form of a big fish. And this big fish swallows him whole, and this big fish was dark, this big fish was cold, this big fish was stinky, this big fish was wet, and this big fish was all he had to get him from where he was to this place he was supposed to be, all because he got on the wrong bus. As a matter of fact, it took him 3 days and 3 nights in the middle of the most disgusting bus he had ever been on, or anyone could imagine being in, all because he chose to get on the wrong bus. And after those 3 days, 3 nights, it spits him out on the shore of the place he was supposed to go in the first place. And it made me think about it. Man, wouldn't his life have been so much better if he just got on the right boat? I mean, just think about it. Think about all the times you've gotten on the wrong bus. Maybe it's because somebody said something to you that you haven't forgiven them for. Maybe they did something to you that you didn't deserve, And because you couldn't forgive them, you chose to get on the wrong bus. Maybe it was something someone did to discourage you. I don't know. Maybe you just got distracted. Kind of like the lady with the dimes. And so you chose to get on the wrong boat, or the wrong bus, excuse me. Or maybe you literally just weren't paying attention to what was going on in your life, and so you got on the wrong bus. I want to encourage you to get on the right bus. And to take the right bus at the right time. Why? Personal story. I've been working on a children's book for over 3 years now. It's been done for over 3 years, but getting it published has been difficult because I finished the artwork for my book. And I took it to some individuals who I trusted, who I believe a family member and a very profound published author, very known, well-known author I had the opportunity to be with. And I showed them my book really excited, and the only thing they had to say was something negative. The family member said, ooh, that book, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. The publisher said, that book, I'll give you $2,000 up front and 25 cents per book after that. And I thought about it. And because I believed in them, I scrapped the book. And I searched for years for author, for illustrator after illustrator. I went through 8 illustrators. I found one who was literally sitting in a library in East Cleveland and was like, would you please just illustrate my book? And when he got done illustrating my book, I was like, finally, I can finish my book. I was so excited. And I sent the first copy of my book with my pictures in it to the person whose responsibility it was to proofread it. Don't look at the pictures, just proofread it. Her son, 4 years old, saw the pictures in my book and got so excited, like, Mommy, I want that book. Whose book is the book? There's that. I want that book. Give me that book. Give me the book. You know how kids do real quick. I want the book. I want the book. He was so excited. And she calls me and says, Jake, are these the pictures of the book? Because these aren't the pictures you sent me last week. I said, well, no, those are my old pictures. She said, well, why did you change them? I said, because somebody told me that it wasn't good enough, so I decided to get on a different bus. This whole time, I was on the right bus. Because I listened to somebody else, I opted out and got on another one. Here's the worst part. It cost me a lot of money to get the second book done. And I'm not even using any of the illustrations from the second one. Because I decided at this point, yeah, I made a decision and got on the wrong bus, but once I realized I was on the wrong one, time to get off and get on the right one. Now I missed some time, probably missed some opportunities. I missed some things. You know, when you get on the wrong bus, you miss some things, right? One thing I knew I couldn't do was stay on the wrong bus when I knew it was the wrong bus. And it was awesome because by Wednesday of next week, it'll be done. By Friday of next week, you all will be able to purchase it on Amazon. Simply because I realized I was on the wrong bus and made the decision that I was not willing to stay on the wrong bus. My encouragement to you all is, forget about your distractions. Forget about your naysayers. Forget about your past failures. Forget about feelings of inadequacy. Definitely forget about everything that's been distracting you or discouraging you, everything else that's on your plate. You have a purpose. And God has created a bus to get you to that purpose. And it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Please don't be like Jonah and have to get on the other bus. Get on the right bus. Because the right bus will take you to your purpose. Right bus.
All right.